A battle over media rights and freedom of speech in India is coming to a boil. Messaging provider WhatsApp has filed a lawsuit against the Indian government. New social media rules require platforms to name a legally accountable representative and to release dissident users' data, which the lawsuit claims is a violation of privacy rights. The main battleground for the dispute is the ongoing farmers' protests in the country.
India's farmers are playing a key role in the country's battle for freedom of speech. They're protesting bitterly against the government's new agricultural law. Legislation they say will ruin their livelihoods. The farmers have also been using social media networks to mobilize their supporters, something the government in Delhi doesn't like, just as it dislikes the social media criticism of its coronavirus policies. Delhi has demanded that U.S. big tech platforms like Facebook and Twitter close down certain accounts and delete some articles and hashtags. There's a lot at stake for the big tech giants. Twitter has more than 70 million Indian users, Facebook over 400 million, and Facebook subsidiary WhatsApp boasts over 500 million subscribers, more than in any other country. Their impressive revenue streams and the conflict between the platforms and the Indian government over free speech on the internet has intensified in recent months. It's getting to the point where the companies will have to decide just how much the Indian market is worth to them.
Let's take a closer look at the matter with journalist Nikhil Pava in Delhi. Welcome to the program, Nikhil. Good to have you. Now, these rules took effect today. What exactly is it that the government is taking offense in here?
Well, Chris, according to the rules, if social media platforms don't take down content after receiving orders within 36 hours, or if they don't provide info to law enforcement agencies based on their demands within 72 hours, or even if, let's say, users file a complaint and these platforms don't address their grievances within 15 days, and remember, WhatsApp, for example, has over 500 million internet users, then they will basically lose their safe harbor. They might be liable for the content, and this means that with that many users and that much content, platforms will not survive this liability in India. So what in effect is happening is that the Indian government is trying to control online speech by imposing more control over tech platforms. And these laws are applicable today, but in the past also such laws haven't been enforced. So the government tends to enforce these laws arbitrarily, or use them as it uses them as leverage to intimidate the platforms. So this is not a good time to be a platform in India. And that's probably why WhatsApp has gone to court. In fact, WhatsApp's situation is much worse. They are expected to hand over the originator or the information about an originator of a message, which will mean that they'll have to re-architect their entire platform globally, which will compromise privacy for users globally. And that's why they've gone to court. The demand from the Indian government is unrealistic. And it's really unbelievable that the Indian government expected WhatsApp to re-architect their platform within just 3 months of these guidelines being issued.
Nikhil,
that's impossible. I mean, sure.
Nikhil, what consequences are companies facing if they don't adhere to these rules?
Well, someone's going to go to jail. So they are expected to hire a chief compliance officer who will have potentially criminal liability for any lawsuit. So, for example, if one person is suing another for criminal defamation, and India does have criminal defamation laws, then the platform could be liable for that. And therefore, the chief compliance officer that Facebook or Twitter or YouTube might hire would also be liable for that same content. And I don't think platforms can survive that liability. Someone's going to go to jail at some point in time.
Journalist Nikhil Pava in Delhi, thank you for your thoughts.